Have you ever stopped in the middle of a grocery store aisle and looked at the endless rows of perfectly bright, identical plastic packaging and felt a sudden cold wave of absolute detachment wash over you? This is what philosophers call hyper-reality. The creepy state where humanity has completely replaced the real world with a fake version full of signs, symbols, and corporate branding, to the point where the original reality no longer even exists. The average American life is built on waking up to an artificial sound from a glowing black mirror, stepping into a metal box to drive down a perfectly gray concrete grid surrounded by identical fast food places that look exactly the same in Texas as they do in New York, just to sit in a cubicle doing digital tasks that have no real connection to the physical earth as we know it. It is a deeply unsettling realization because it means we are no longer biological creatures living in a natural habitat. We are domesticated organisms, trapped inside a massive, invisible, self-replicating economic machine that feeds us fake desires, fake happiness, and fake connections. The human brain is constantly bombarded by algorithms that perfectly predict the next thought, creating a custom-built digital reality that tells people what to love, what to fear, and what to buy, completely stripping away free will while making everyone think they are the ones in control. Media consumption has become watching digital personas on screens who are playing characters reacting to other fake events, until our entire understanding of human culture is just a copy of a copy of a copy, floating in a technological void. It is like a real-world version of The Matrix, or Plato's allegory of the cave. Except there is no escaping the cave because the outside world has been completely paved over by concrete, strip malls, and fiber optic cables. We live in a society that has successfully faked the human experience so perfectly that nobody even knows what a raw, unfiltered human emotion feels like anymore, without a screen mediating it. This fabricated existence is not just an accident of modern convenience. It is a profound philosophical trap that erases the soul, turning billions of unique human lives into predictable, automated loops that exist purely just to keep the machine running. The paths we are told to follow from the moment we are born into the system are all entirely premeditated. You go to school to get a piece of paper so you can get a job, to buy a house and a grid, just like everyone else. And you spend 40 years working just to pay off the debt that you went to school with. That debt shouldn't even be a thing. You went to school and got a bunch of debt, and you can only pay it off 40 years later. It's just an artificial maze. We have traded the vast, open mystery of the earth for a series of manufactured choices, and nobody even realizes it is happening. Every single day looks exactly like the one before it, to the point where weeks and months blend together into a blur of screens, highway traffic, and identical grocery store receipts. It feels as though nobody is truly awake and everyone is just sleepwalking through a world that was manufactured by people who only see humanity as numbers on a spreadsheet. It's a quiet kind of horror, because there's not monsters, ghosts, or paranormal creatures. It's just a realization that everything we touch and see has been designed to keep us calm, distracted from the fact that we're living on a rock, spinning through a cold, silent void of space. And there's nothing near us. We're millions of miles away from everything else. It's so vast, it's unimaginable. The only reality that is left is the one that has a price tag attached to it. I remember looking at a sprawling suburban neighborhood from an airplane at night, seeing the endless geometric rows of identical streetlights stretching into the dark horizon, and realizing it looked exactly like a giant motherboard inside a computer. I still think of it all the time to this day. When I think of hyperreality, I think of that, since it was the most vivid remembrance I have of it. It felt like looking down at a massive biological cage where everyone was tucked into their own tiny little square box, watching their own tiny little glowing screens, completely separated from the actual earth below them. What happened to connection with the earth? What happened to humans being one with nature? That's what I'm trying to figure out. We build these massive concrete labyrinth structures, and then we spend our entire lives trying to find meaning inside of them, without ever looking up at the sky or wondering what was here before the pavement took over. People live out their lives surrounded by fake things, and they die without ever touching the actual reality underneath the simulation.